There are 35 records or titles and the characters that hold them in solo leveling. Whether it's something subjective that someone may or may not disagree with, or something that we can all straight up agree on, solo leveling does have some quite interesting record holders in its story. But before we begin, let's set a small ground rule. As we all know, by the end of the series, Sung Jin-woo is so overpowered that, well, if we're to give records for the series, it'll basically be us glazing Jin-woo for 15 minutes or so. Because of that, when the winner is Sung Jin-woo, we will be giving a runner-up award as well, just so that we add a bit more variety and make this video even more interesting that way. Okay, so let's begin with some records for Jin-woo's shadows. And off we begin with an interesting one. Who is the funniest shadow in Sung Jin-woo's army? Well, the answer to that comes down to one of these two. It's either Iron, with his running gag of going overboard all the time, and the rest of the higher-ups like Igris or even Jin-woo getting pissed about it, or the one I will be going with, which is of course none other than Baru. I mean, this guy only has two moves: destroy everything and anything in his way, and being a cute little kid that seeks approval from his daddy. Baru, the way I see it, has by far the most funny moments in the series. Now, this was just the warm-up, and we still have 39 more records to cover, and each record we present is even more interesting, or one you could never even imagine when compared to the one before. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's keep going. Moving on to our second record. Who is the fan favorite shadow? Well, the way I see it, this is between two shadows. Yeah, Bellion and Iron are also really loved by the fandom, but they do not really come close to these next two. Baru and Igris are by far the most loved shadows in Jinwoo's army, at least when you see the bigger picture among the solo leveling fan base, that is. Igris has been there since the start, and he is the true embodiment of the title Loyal Knight, while Baru, well, he's been nothing but enjoyment since the moment he appeared. Sometimes epic, overpowered, and ruthless, while other times a pure comedic chaos. Among the two, I have the feeling that Baru is a bit more loved compared to Igris. However, since this is subjective, let us know what you think in the comments down below. Who is your favorite shadow, Igris or Baru? But no matter who the winner of that one is, let's see another record that has to do with strength, or rather abilities next. Who is the fastest shadow in Sung Jin-woo's army? I know where your mind goes. Bellion versus Baru, right? I mean, when the two of them sparred, Jin-woo was surprised that Bellion was on par with Baru's speed, that up until then, we thought was Jin-woo's fastest shadow. Meaning between the two, who is the fastest? Well, in reality, none of them take this, as this title goes to none other than Kaizo. Remember when Jinha was in danger and Jin-woo had to rush somewhere as fast as possible? Well, he didn't run on his feet. And remember, Jin-woo is faster than both Baru and Bellion. No, he jumped on Kaizo's back and had him carry him, meaning that in that fashion, Kaizo is even faster than Jin-woo. After all, he is a wyvern that's supposed to have speed as his main trait. But okay, in reality, truth be told, Kaizo is not actually stronger than Jin-woo. Maybe when it comes to long distances, yeah, since Kaizo can fly. But in terms of raw combat speed, Jin-woo is definitely faster, especially by the end of the series. So having said that, who is the fastest character in solo leveling? Everyone included this time. Well, the number one is obviously Jin-woo. However, since we said that when the winner is Jin-woo, we'll be giving a runner-up award as well, let's see what we have other than Sung Jin-woo. In my eyes, it's one of Bellion, Baru, and Antares. You see, Antares is definitely stronger than Bellion and Baru. However, his main thing is all about strength and not so much about speed. When it comes to speed, Bellion and Baru might actually be faster than him. Between Bellion and Baru, I think I'll be going for Bellion, to be honest. But back to a record involving exclusively shadows. Who is the strongest shadow when it comes to physical strength? Well, for starters, we have the giants that are, well, you know, massive in size, and as a result, they are surely incredibly strong. Then we have Kamish, a monster so strong that while alive, it needed the joint efforts of the 5 national level hunters to even stand a chance against him. And even then, that might have not been enough. After all, Kamish was said to hold the power to destroy the whole world. And then we have Bellion, who, yes, is the strongest shadow of Sung Jin-woo. But remember, we're now speaking strictly about physical strength. So among those three, who do you think is the one with the highest physical strength? In my eyes, I would have to go for Bellion. The guy's so strong that he can rival Monarchs on his own. And yeah, this is not 100% due to physical strength, but let's be honest, his strength is the main asset he possesses. So yeah, I think Bellion is probably the right call. Okay, what if we narrow it down now to the physically strongest female human now? Well, obviously, this goes to Cha Hae-in. Truth be told, there are some tanker hunters shown only in the anime that we don't even know their names. To be honest, a case could be made for them, since they are more of a power type hunter hunter compared to Cha Hae-in, and they're physically stronger. After all, Hunter Cha was more of an agile type hunter rather than raw power. But since we don't even know the names of the other female hunters, and since they're technically not manhwa canon, I think I'll be giving this to Cha Hae-in. Alright, let's go ahead and make it a bit broader now. How about the strongest female in general? This has to be a monarch, right? Naturally, because of that, we have Quiracia, the queen of insects and the monarch of plagues. Quiracia possessed immense physical strength, and as a testament to this, she was able to punch Jinwoo hard enough to make him bleed, and easily restrain Baru with her bare hands. She was also able to create giant glowing green hands out of mana, secrete an extremely concentrated toxin from her body, reanimate and control the dead using parasites, and even heal from her injuries almost instantaneously, as displayed when she regenerated her entire body in seconds after Jinwoo sliced her in half. However, her regenerative abilities were ultimately proven to have their limits, as she was unable to regenerate her body for the second time after Jinwoo reduced her to mincemeat. Next up, the physically strongest monarch. First and foremost, once again, there's Sung Jinwoo. But how about the second strongest? We could have Baran, aka the King of Demons, or even Legia, the King of Giants. However, among all monarchs, I think the title belongs to Antares, after Sung Jinwoo, of course. Among the monarchs, Antares was by far the strongest, and actually proved to be the most difficult to Jinwoo during their fight. Being one of the most powerful individuals in existence, only Ashbourne came close to him, and even when compared to Ashbourne, Antares was still slightly superior to the Shadow Monarch in raw power. Antares possessed almost unparalleled durability, and was virtually invulnerable to physical trauma. As a testament to this, he was completely unfazed by most of Jinwoo's attacks, and was able to continue fighting back as if nothing had happened, even after Jinwoo nearly split him in half. Antares was able to spit devastating torrents of fire from his mouth. The power of this attack was so great that it was able to instantly reduce the average S-rank hunter to ash, easily negate most of Jinwoo's attacks, and even erase shadow soldiers from existence. Plus, being the king of dragons, he had multiple insanely strong dragons under his command, many of which stated to be similar to Kamish in terms of raw strength. So, obviously, we gotta give this title to him. Let's move on. A rather simple one next. Who is the tallest human in solo leveling? Well, we've got Wang Dongsu at around 1.95 meters tall, or 6'5". Christopher Reed is about 1.98 meters tall, or about 6'6". And then we've also got Thomas Andre, Leonard Nierman, and Go Gun-hee, all of which over 2 meters tall, so about 6'7". Well, let's go ahead and give it to Thomas Andre. I think out of them, he seemed a bit more intimidating and taller than the rest, to be honest. Okay, how about the tallest creature now then? This includes everyone. You know, monsters, humans, and monarchs. First, we have the giants. So let's consider Legia here. But another one worth considering is Kamish. Among them, who's taller? Well, Kamish is about 35 meters tall, whereas giants are about 50 meters tall. So with that in mind, let's give this title to Legia. Next up, one of my favorites. Who has the most aura in solo leveling? Well, naturally, this is none other than Sung Jinwoo. I mean, the guy's been farming aura since the start. Just about everything he does is pure aura, even more than the manhwa, to be honest. From stabbing the ice elf with his own arrow before he could even realize what happened, to literally walking out of the battle against Baruka while Iron lands the finishing blow. No matter how you see it, Jinwoo is literally aura itself. But other than him, who else should we have? I think this has got to be either Bellion or Antares. Both calm, composed, and highly epic whenever they appear. Go ahead and call me biased, but I tend to give this a little bit more to Bellion. Moving on, let's cover a bit the stronger hunter in each category. For example, who's the strongest fighter type? Here, we have Cha Hae-in, Baek Yoon-ho, and Goto Ryuji. Between Cha Hae-in and Baek Yoon-ho, I tend a bit more towards Cha, as during the Jeju Island raid, when both Cha and Baek were present, Baru chose to attack Cha first, as he sensed she was stronger. But between Goto Ryuji and Cha, I think Goto Ryuji's gonna take the round. I mean, in his sparring match with Jinwoo, even though Jinwoo was holding back, he did seem like a bit of a threat to him, while the latter was not being serious. Once again, he was the strongest Japanese hunter for a reason. How about the strongest mage next? Well, the obvious winner is gonna be Jinwoo here, as let's not forget Jinwoo was considered a mage type among the Hunter Association. But again, how about someone other than him? Since we've gotta give it to another candidate, let's go with Yuri Orlov. I mean, we saw him being at a completely different level when compared to other S-rank hunters. Just by himself, he was easily able to completely restrain both Kane and Hoshino without much trouble, both of whom were S-rank hunters. Next, strongest assassin. Now, when it comes to assassin hunters, we really only know two of them, Kang Taeshik and Ipei Izawa. Taeshik was B rank, while Ipei Izawa was a Japanese S-rank hunter under the Draw Sword Guild. But what do the abilities of an S-rank assassin look look like? Well, hear this. Ipei was so fast that he was able to travel with such speed that it seemed like he was practically flying across Jeju Island. Next stop, strongest tanker. Here, we've either got Kim Chul or, of course, Thomas Andre. Come on, no need to talk a lot here, right? It's obviously Thomas Andre. No questions asked. How about the strongest ranger now? Well, truth be told, in the manhwa, we only saw one ranger, and that is Lim Tae-gyu. As an S-rank hunter, Lim was the best ranger-type hunter in all of Korea. So naturally, this title is his. How about the strongest healer next? Well, the best example of a healer is none other than Min Byung-gyu. After all, he was S-ranked for a reason. As an S-rank healer, Byung-gyu was a master at healing magic and could almost instantly heal his fellow hunters even from severe wounds. According to himself, he also had the combat ability of an A-rank. Byung-gyu was able to instantly heal Big and Ma Dong-wook back to prime condition after the Ant Queen spit poison all over them. He was also able to quickly grow back Ma's arm after the Ant King ripped them off, and easily heal Cha back to full health from the brink of death. His buff magic was so advanced that he was able to significantly help the rest of his crew power up. Plus, while using disguise, Byung-gyu was able to blend in with his surroundings and hide all traces of his presence, essentially turning himself both physically and magically invisible. Now, who is the strongest old man? I mean, here, let's first clarify that we're only considering physical age, meaning the body being old, and not so much age as in how old someone is. If it were like that, we'd have to choose a monarch that lived for thousands of years. Instead, our choice here is Go Gun-hee. I mean, the guy managed to fight off the Frost Monarch for a respectable amount of time, and only lost when his body could not withstand his own power, and thus started to crumble away. This point is his. Okay, for the next ones, we have some subjective ones. Who is the most greedy character? Well, this has gotta be the shadow Jinwoo literally named Greed, right? Meaning Wang Dong-soo. The guy was so greedy and such a meathead that he had to get back at Jinwoo no matter what, right? So he fought his dad, got destroyed, and then decided to get Thomas involved so that he could kill Jinwoo. Naturally, this did not work, which is what got him killed, and thus turned him into greed. But was Wang Dong-soo the one who angered Jinwoo the most? Not quite, because this title belongs to Groktar that attacked Jinha. Oh boy, you better believe that Jinwoo was not having that. There's a reason Baru said, quote, "I can feel the king is enraged." I mean, imagine being so foolish that you attack the sister of Sung Jinwoo. Yup, that guy made the last mistake of his life right there. Alright, how about a funny one next? Who is the biggest drama lover? Come on, that's gotta be Baru, right? I mean, this was an ongoing gag and meme with his character, how he always seemed to enjoy K-drama series and was sitting in the living room watching them all day long. So yeah, there's that. How about the biggest simp now? Well, this could be Baru, but I will instead choose Cha Hae-in instead. I mean, this girl had a major crush on Jinwoo, enough to literally stalk him to his apartment to see what he's been up to, leaving her looks outside and the fact that she did it in an innocent kind of way. Well, this has gotta be creepy, right? Imagine stalking someone to his apartment. I mean, come on. Alright, let's up the tone a bit. Who's the character with the most potential in Solo Leveling? If you think Sung Jin-woo had potential and managed to reach it, well, think again, because his son, Sung Soo-ho, has potential even higher than Jin-woo's. And with him getting his own manhwa, we can only assume that he will, in time, manage to overcome even his dad, which does sound kind of impossible right now, but well, I think there's gonna be a way that they'll make it happen in Solo Leveling Ragnarok. Now, truth be told, Sung Soo-ho didn't really get the most screen time, huh? But is he the character with the most impact while having minimal screen time? Not even close, because this title belongs to another member of the Sung family, Sung Il-won. I mean, whenever that guy appeared, he meant business. He first fought Hwang Dong-soo, which, okay, it didn't have the most impact it could have, but let me tell you, during the final fight, he was among the MVPs that helped Jinwoo defeat the other monarchs. He appeared for so little time, and yet helped the story progress so much. How about the kind of opposite of that? Who had the most screen time in the series? Well, naturally, that's gonna be Jinwoo, but let's see the second one, since we did say that when Jinwoo wins, we'll be giving another runner-up award. The way I see it, Soo-ho will in time get this title, but for the time being, this title belongs to Igris. He's been there for Jinwoo since day one. He's quite literally nicknamed the Loyal Knight for a reason. After Jinwoo, he's got the most screen time in the series. Moving on, which battle is the most one-sided in Solo Leveling? In my eyes, it's gotta be Jinwoo versus Hwang Dong-soo. Like, literally, Jinwoo was wiping the floor with him. And when Thomas Andre arrived, what did Jinwoo do? Casually throw Dong-soo in the air like he's he's throwing a sack of potatoes or something. Yeah, that was indeed as disrespectful as it gets. I mean, you can be sure that that moment became a meme for the way Jinwoo threw Dongsu in the air. But was it the biggest meme of Solo Leveling? Not quite, because there were some even better ones. You see, we have a rather recent one called Sister Leveling from a fellow YouTuber named The Abridged Boys, which I won't expand further. If you know, you know. Then we've also got the Baru being a drama queen meme, and the Baru glazing Jinwoo all the time meme. But in reality, none of those compares with the actual biggest meme of Solo Leveling. None other than the Statue of God meme, where people bow in front of it. It became a meme template for all kinds of memes that people still use all the time. Moving on, which is the most hyped upcoming moment? For me? Well, we've got Jinwoo versus Thomas Andre encounter. But the fight, as well as the moment Jinwoo flipped off Thomas, will be epic. Jinwoo versus the Architect is also going to be amazing. The final fight? Talk about epic! But the one I think is the most hyped is the Jinwoo versus Baru fight. Jinwoo does his badass entrance, and out of nowhere, and without anyone expecting him, shows his class and the difference he has with the other hunters. From them being massacred by Baru, to Jinwoo allowing him to throw a punch on him? Well, the result? Jinwoo did not even flinch. He just spits a bit of blood, and then proceeds to outclass and kill Baru. Now that's a moment I cannot wait to see animated. But speaking of badass entrances, which was the most badass? Well, Jinwoo's entrance in Jeju Island Raid is definitely a contender, but the one I think is the coldest is Jinwoo entering the battlefield through a portal Igris made with his cape during the events of the final fights. Now that was as epic as it gets. Alright, let's go ahead and speedrun the rest of the records now, shall we? Who's the most loyal shadow? I think we all know that. It's Igris. Even though all shadows are loyal, I think Igris is a step above the rest. He is, after all, dubbed as the Loyal Knight. The most overconfident character next? Wang Dongsu. The guy literally tried to take on Jinwoo's dad, then Jinwoo himself. Yeah, know your place, boy. Trust me, you are not that guy. How about the best duo in the series? Well, it's either Jinwoo and Baru, Jinwoo and Igris, Jinwoo and Sungil Hwang, Jinwoo and Go Gun-hee, or Jinwoo and Bellyan. Now, among all these options, I think I gotta go for Jinwoo and Igris, simply because it was there from the start. And let's be honest, it became really iconic by the end of the manhwa. Okay, best transformation finally. I think it's probably Jinwoo's Demon King armor. That design was absolutely amazing. And for the runner-up, I think I'll be giving it to Antari's dragon form. That transformation was also insanely epic. Click on this video next, where we create the strongest raid team in Solo Leveling's history. Go on, check it out!